Out of all of the things I could ever make a video about, I never thought I would have to make a video about this. The FCC has chosen, not even an hour ago at the time of me recording this, to repeal net neutrality. For those of you who are completely out of the loop, net neutrality is the idea that the internet should be free and open to everybody. It keeps your internet from being behind a paywall, for having to pay for extra services. I did an entire speech, I did 2 speeches on this for college because it is such an important issue. The FCC received millions upon millions upon millions of tweets, emails, calls, letters from the public stating that they did not want them to repeal net neutrality, and it's obvious that our voices don't matter in the situation. So to help me along with the structure of this video, I'm going to read you some facts that I researched for literally weeks for my speech, and these are undisputable facts. I will cite my sources. I will put my sources in the comments down below if I still have them. I believe I still have them. If I still have them, I will put them down in the down in the description below, not the comments below. One of the biggest issues that anti-net neutrality supporters, for some reason I don't even know why they think that, for one thing, but one thing they say is that it stifles innovation. That there is no way that internet service providers can even comprehend creating something better when there's regulations and they have to answer to a higher government power. This is simply not true. Between 2012 and 2016, the infrastructure, the money put into the internet to increase its efficiency and its speeds and all these things, went up by $77 billion. And if internet service providers don't think that's enough money, then heck, I'll take some of it. I'll use it and I'll make the internet better if I have to. If these professionals can't even comprehend what the public wants and what the public needs, and that if they don't think the public is going to shut them down, then they need to just stop and think for a second. Between 2010 and 2012, over 2,000 telecom patents were approved by the US government. This shows that there is no lack of innovation in the telecom industry. If there were 2,000 patents between those 2 years, imagine how many there's been in the past decade. In the past 2 years, between 2015 and 2017, when net neutrality was put in place. When it comes to net neutrality, I simultaneously hate and feel sorry for the FCC. I feel sorry depending on who's in charge. I hate depending on who's in charge. The last FCC chairman, Tom Wheeler, did a good job. He compromised with the public and internet service providers and gave us net neutrality that made sense. The current FCC chairman, by the way, is a former Verizon lawyer. That internet service providers think that since they've been reclassified as common carriers that their profits have gone down, but in 2016 to 2017 it is shown, and as I previously mentioned earlier, that profits have only gone up for them. And that just destroys the notion, again, that innovation is not a problem in these industries. And it's like the internet service providers just can't see that they're the problem, and every time that they lose a dollar of some kind, they blame FCC regulations, which just doesn't make any sense when it's their own fault for raising their prices, for not being fair to their customers, for all these different reasons that is just unfair. Here's what internet service providers want to do and what the public lives in the fear of that they'll do when net neutrality is repealed. Well, now that it is repealed, we live in fear of it now. They believe, I believe that internet service providers will charge you to use extra services that you already use every single day of your life. You want to use Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, you also have to pay for the social media package through your internet service provider. You want to go through and watch Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, Twitch, you want to watch any of those sites, you have to pay for the entertainment package through your internet service provider. Does that seem fair to you when you already pay $50 a month or however much, $75 a month for your internet? Do you want to pay extra for these packages that you've been using every single day of your life? Since the internet's been around, we've had free access to all these websites just through our internet service providers that we pay a monthly fee towards, which is fine, and it works. It makes sense. The notion that the internet should not be free and open is disgusting. There are people who make a living on the internet. YouTubers, Twitch streamers, just people who can only run their businesses through websites are at risk also. There are people who make livings off of Instagram and Twitter because just of how, like, public personalities. There are people who make livings on the internet, and that's not fair to them to lose their job because the FCC, or not even just the FCC, just our current chairman believes that it is wrong and that internet service providers should have the control over the internet, which doesn't make any sense when they're the ones who want to capitalize on it and they want to destroy it and bring it down and make it closed off to certain people and make it a privilege to have the internet. Not even a privilege. Yeah, to make it a privilege to have the internet. And if you're like me and you want to protect net neutrality, then know this. Congress can still repeal the vote. You need to call your senators. I've called them both of mine. You need to write them. Yes, mail is not as efficient, but you can still do it. You need to email anybody that can listen to you. And you can text resist to 50409 to show that you support net neutrality and that you want it to stay. And that the internet should be free and open to everybody because it's common sense. Protect internet neutrality. It's one of the few good things we have left in this country and in this world. You need to support it. Call Congress. Do what you can. Your voice can be heard. Even if the FCC doesn't want to hear it, you need to show support for net neutrality. It is the only thing that needs to remain constant right now. Support Congress on their decision to support net neutrality. Please, please do that. Normally, on the internet, it is bad to victimize people. But if you don't support net neutrality, go away. If you don't support net neutrality, you need to rethink what you believe about the internet. I know this video is like kind of just weirdly put together and it's kind of rushed, but this issue is important and needs to be broadcast throughout the entire country. There is no reason that net neutrality should not be a thing. You need to support it with every breath in you. It is a serious issue. It is a serious problem. It needs to be addressed. I'm sorry for making this video so weird and underpaced or overpaced or whatever. Just go out and do something great. That something great can be helping net neutrality. Thank you guys for watching.